welcome, Angus here, and today I'll be talking a bit about TennoGen. TennoGen, that is a Steam workshop for Warframe, which allows us, the players, to create our own skins, our own Ciandanas right now and in the future. Who knows, maybe even armor pieces or custom remeshes. Time will tell. Why am I making this video? Well, mainly because I've seen many people eager to start creating the skins and wanting to know how to create them, but not exactly succeeding. And I must admit, the instructions in the TennoGen itself are not entirely clear. Some people don't even know how to get the app, so I hope to explain all those things to you so you can get right into creating your own skins. At the same time, I'd like to say that it won't be an in-depth tutorial of creating the skins themselves. It'll be only just the basic tutorial, the basic video on how to set things up and how to start working on your own skin. Maybe later I'll cover some more issues, like the issues with tint masks that I know people have, that I had these issues myself, so there is that. And another thing I'd like to mention is that if I use any software like graphics editing software and other software pieces like that, I will be using only the free versions. So instead of Photoshop, I'll be using GIMP. It's so you can use those things as well without spending a dime. So let us begin, shall we? Yes, so to get the TennoGen app itself, you have to go to you have to have Steam. That's the first requirement. Some people asked about it. No, you cannot use TennoGen app if you do not have Steam. You have to have Steam. You have to have Warframe on Steam. You don't have to have it installed, but it has to be in your library. And then you simply go to Tools, scroll probably somewhere to the very bottom, and in here you can see, well, at least you should be able to see Warframe TennoGen. It's not in here on the bottom on my list because it's in my favorites at the top. Warframe TennoGen, ready to play. From there you just simply go to your main library and it should be somewhere. In my case it's in the favorites. So here's how the TennoGen looks like right after you launch it. It doesn't look very well, right? There is nothing in here. So how to get something in here, for example Mag or Gorgon or Amprex, you want to create something, you want to see something. Well, first of all, you have to get the files. If you do not have the basic meshes, if you do not have the basic textures, well, without meshes you won't do anything, and without textures the rest will be rather hard. So you go, as you can see, to the Help tab, and you go to the second section, that is Content, Files and Examples. The first section, Examples, it contains, each of the files you download contains a set of files, textures and meshes that are ready to be viewed in the TennoGen. You put it there and they work. In this section, Content, you can see that these textures are for content creation and will not work in the viewer as they are. Well, that's not entirely true, because most of them will work, but there's one thing that won't, and that is tint mask. Also, the naming of these files in these archives you download are different than what you are supposed to use in your final creation. Then you simply click download. For example, let's download a Gorgon. It opens in your browser and it downloads. I have it downloaded already, but that doesn't matter. You open the file and you have a zip archive with everything you may need. That is an FBX file, object file, and all that stuff. From there you just have to unpack it. I have it unpacked already, and it looks like that. Now, how to set up your TennoGen with these files? First of all, we need an object file. We need a base to work on. So you simply drag and drop an object file in here. And voila, you have your Gorgon mesh. It doesn't look very appealing though. That's why we need masks. You click in here, Gorgon, and with other weapons and frames, of course, it'll be called different things. And in here you have to set up all of the layers of your weapon. First is diffuse map. Diffuse map in the example files is called diffuse, so that's very simple. And you can see that the Gorgon looks more or less nice right now. It doesn't look the best, but it looks at least. Then you have normal map, which is also called normal, so that's easy, and we can see all of the bumps appearing. Next is specular, which in the example files is called AO for whatever reason, but it works as it's supposed to work, and you can see it's shiny. The next one is roughness map. Roughness map in the example files is called curve, and it looks even better now. And lastly, the tint mask. The tint mask, that is simply called mask, and it doesn't do much. As you can see, if I change the first color, it does nothing. If I change the second color, nothing. Third color, nothing. Only when I change the last color, then the color of the whole weapon changes. And that is because the whole map is perfectly opaque, and the fourth tint is based on your alpha channel. But I'll go more in depth when I create probably a separate tutorial about the tint mask, because I don't want these videos to be too long. Now we have an emissive map, and in the example files for Gorgon at least, there is no emissive map. But let's quickly go to my Gorgon, and I have an emissive map prepared already. As you can see, it works. There are tiny lights. You can increase the intensity, you can change the color, and it works perfectly fine. And yes, there's that. That's the basic way to set up your TennoGen app, and from there you can go on and create your own textures. You simply have to go to your files and edit the diffuse map, the specular map, the roughness map. I'd strongly advise you to call them accordingly to the names provided in here, I believe. Texturing guide, yes, indeed. Diffusive as file name D, for example, Gorgon D, normal as Gorgon N, metalness as S, roughness as R, and emissive as E, and the tint mask as, for example, Gorgon tint mask _ D. It'll help you with all of the tutorials. Well, those that TennoGen contains are not exactly tutorials, but they are something, at least. And that's about it, pretty much. Then let me set up my own Gorgon skin. So what I have so far, so we have the diffusive, normal, specular, roughness. we have tint mask, that's the final one. No, that's the final one. And we have emissive already set up. That's how my Gorgon skin looks so far. And now a bit about the UI of the TennoGen. You don't want all those lines, all those boxes, all those arrows in your screenshots. So first thing you have to do is simply click somewhere to get rid of the yellow box and all of the arrows. Then you click this button here, toggle grid, and the grid disappears. And that's how you make a screenshot of your weapon. And please don't do anything fancy with it. Don't make like white outlines. It doesn't help it when you put it on the workshop. So just a little thing from me. What else do we have? Those are not entirely useful because, well, you can scale your things, but there's no real purpose to that. Then you can save it in a zip archive, I believe. Yes, in a zip archive, just to save it, to send it somewhere, because you can upload those to workshop directly, I believe. No, you need to save it in a zip file, and then you have to specify the path to that zip file in here to send it to the workshop. And that's all you need to know, really. When you have your zip file ready, you just go to upload, you give it a title, you give it a description, you tag it accordingly. In my case it would be skin for Gorgon. You specify the content path and add some images, some screenshots, and upload it. And that's it. Then in the workshop itself you have to file some other things about payment options, but I won't be covering that. I'll focus only on the app itself. And I believe that's all there is to it, to the TennoGen app itself. There's nothing more to say because you know how to set your textures app. Yes, how to set up your textures. You know the basic UI elements, you know where to find the files you need, and you know that not all of them work. I'll be ending this video here, and in the next video I'll cover the matter of the tint mask and how to make the tint mask actually make your weapon or your frame or your skins generally have many different places that you can tint and not just one color for the whole thing. So yeah, I'll be ending this tutorial here. I hope you liked it. If you did, you can always like the video, you can always subscribe to see maybe I'll have something more. And that's it from me. Await my next tutorial for the tint masks, and well, see you soon, I guess.